somebody tweeted, "Am I the only one to notice? ... An hour later, am I the only one to notice Tiger pitch flinger Spencer Turnbull
at the stop sign? Turn right onto Cummings Avenue.
Stickman to traverse the sacred ground to first base safely after striking the ball through 4 full innings. That same hour, how many Mariners have reached base after striking the ball? Something done with chicken strips.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto West 14 Mile Road.
Happening in Seattle. Turnbull has been fantastic, and the Tigers' defense is coming up big. Tigers lead 2-0 in the 8th. The Mariners are witless. And Spencer Turnbull 3 outs away from marching the guy in the booth, Jack Morris.
Go past this stop sign, then at the next one, turn right.
And it was worth staying up to say as a tick before 1 a.m. The Tigers' Spencer Turnbull just no-hit the Mariners. Fantastic effort, fun to watch. I'm glad you got to watch it. We were sleeping, but I missed those tweets. That's why I appreciate that. And
at the stop sign, turn right onto West 14 Mile Road.
Get up early and not have a lot of sleep. Oh my goodness. But no, I was obviously 2:30, and that was fantastic theater. Jack Morris getting emotional, really, in the booth.
In 1 mile, turn left onto Southfield Road.
We'll talk later. I'm just so proud of you that I was. I pitched for it. It was really neat. And, even at the end, the video of Turnbull talking on the field with shaving cream dripping off his face after Jake Rogers smushed it into him. And you know what it does? It shows what people like about baseball. That even in a bad season or a bad team or a bad record or 1 in the morning, something special can happen. And besides Turnbull's no-hitter, which was absolutely fantastic. Sometimes, I had the same feeling I had watching the Alonso Galarraga game. But they're just going to beat it into the ground every single time. They're not going to get a hit in the Candelario play in the 7th inning diving stop at third base.
Light,
it was great theater. You guys should have stayed up and watched it.
So as you're sending out those tweets, do you believe in the jinx? Do you believe that the forces that you were putting out in the universe were working against him and he overcame it?
No.
No?
The whole point of those tweets over the years is to sort of mock the talk of the jinx. And you know what? I give full marks to Matt Shepard and Jack Morris on the broadcast. They said no-hitter. Coming back to the 7th inning. Spencer Turnbull still working on a no-hitter. And I think at first
at the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn onto Southfield Road.
Now I think people sort of have settled. I mean, the great Vin Scully would always say no-hitter if one was happening.
Right.
So that's good enough for all of us, I think. And I do have, John, don't get me wrong, I do have
5.1 miles, keep right onto Southfield Freeway.
The jinx thing, that's more of a playful mocking thing. And thank God it didn't work last night.
Yes, it did. So has there ever been a big sports news or news of any kind that you were stunned to find out about when you woke up in the morning? You stay up later than most.
Yeah, who are you talking to?
I know.
You're talking about, I honestly, I heard you say that before I came on. And I think Stoney's she was surprised when you woke up and heard the Germans had bombed Pearl Harbor or something like that. I didn't catch the whole thing.
RFK and Kobe's 81, I think.
No, he did say, though, when the A's moved from Philly.
The Dodgers up. No, I mean, so then I started thinking about it, as I often do, after I hear something. And I honestly can't think of anything because, as you know, I do stay up late, generally speaking.
Well, so did I in my old life, yes.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe as a kid, you go to bed thinking, listen to a Tigers game and you wake up and what, they lost? But Beyond that, no. I woke up one time and realized the Lions had won the Super Bowl, and then I realized I had woken up. So beyond that, I don't have one. I really don't.
So after your nap yesterday afternoon, you wake up and you find out that Jeff Blashill is going to be back. What was your reaction to that news?
Fine. I mean, I know that's not the hot take people want. No,
Right.
his record's terrible, or fine. I expected it. The thing is, not only in my mind, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to change a coach right now when you're not ready to win. It doesn't. If you're go get your Scotty Bowman, go get your great coach. You really think you're gonna get that right now? A coach to come into this, and I made this comparison. Special circumstances is how you get great coaches and rebuilds. Like AJ Hinch, who didn't have many options because of the cheating scandal, obviously. So they were able to add a great manager in the midst of an awful rebuild. I imagine Eisman could have found somebody if he wanted to, but it's kind of like, what's the point? You know, it doesn't mean you're endorsing Jeff Blashill forever and he's going to be here. But I would say this, Tony, you know this. I always make the Tampa Bay Lightning comparison. Eisenman took over, got rid of his first coach, very quickly brought in a young coach with only minor league experience by the name of John Cooper. Oh, he's a placeholder. Oh, he doesn't even have any experience. John Cooper is still there winning cups, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah, I know.
Something to think about.
Yeah, you fired, what's that? Guy Boucher, I believe, was Eisenman's first coach.
Correct, that was. And they just didn't mesh. They didn't, and the locker, he kind of lost the locker. And look how many teams in the NHL this year lost the locker. Like the Rangers and the Blue Jackets and Buffalo and all the coaches fired. And it's not talent is the most important thing, and Eisenman knows that, and he knows he hasn't delivered enough talent yet. It's on its way, but not yet.
Right, and Blashill has not lost the locker room because the players would have said something to that effect.
Correct. Right. And again, on the list of things, that's more important when you have a losing team. I don't know how many coaches lose the locker room when you're winning. But, well, for instance, and again, I hate to make the comparison, beyond the record, that's why Matt Patricia had to go and should have gone sooner, right?
Yeah.
Lost the locker room. And again, that's the biggest thing you can't do when you're in a rebuild, because you know you're not going to win a lot, so you better make sure that the players are progressing and paying attention.
See, Patricia should have just suggested them bringing a lion into practice and get rid of the pencil. Then it would all changed.
Absolutely. We're in favor of the lion. But here's one thing. Would they have to lay off Rory, the mascot?
No. They're just going to add Dan Detroit to Rory.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Rory will be able to carry around Dan Detroit.
Okay, that's a possibility. Now, I thought it would make perfect sense that, you know, and John's been through this, you know, when that, what do they call the guy that comes down and knocks on the door, and the Reaper? Is that what that knocks on the door and says you've been cut?
Yes, the Reaper.
Yeah. Replace him with the Lion. Go get him.
Oh, the Turk.
Yes, the Reaper comes in, and instead you have the Lion come in and gives you the exit notice.
Yeah, so to speak, takes your arm or something. No, that would be.
We just spoke to Troy Weaver. What would you assess his job? What he did this year is pretty damn good, don't you think so?
Excuse me. Yeah. Help me out here. I lean to Tony and Jansen for help on this. Here we have Troy Weaver, Steve Yzerman, Jeff Blashill, Dwayne Casey, and if you look at all the records, you go, are they good? But if you look at the totality of the thing, I don't feel guilty to say yes. I think they're all doing pretty good jobs. I really do. Dwayne Casey's doing a pretty darn good job. So is Weaver and Yzerman, I think. And Blashill was the one question because he's been here longer. So Yeah, I think Weaver is doing things the right way, and I heard it with you guys, and I talked to him last week, and I like the deliberate nature of his thinking, and he does also have a slice at the humor.
Yes.
But, he's a little no-nonsense in what he wants, and gets one player left on the roster that he took over, and that player might be gone too, Dumbaye. So, yeah, you gotta be aggressive and, dare I say, a little bit ruthless as a GM, no matter how nice of a guy you are, and I think he is.
Well, and I think part of the reason why we think they're doing a good job is because for so long here in Detroit, we've wanted just somebody to admit that they can go through a rebuild or restoration, whatever term you want to use.
And they all used it. I mean,
Yeah.
Eiserman must have said rebuild like 25 times yesterday.
Right. I agree, and I like the fact that they're not faking it. They're not lying to us. They're not. And again, and I almost felt Weaver was almost a little sheepish after the season that he was getting so much praise on his final Zoom the other day. It's like, don't get me wrong, this sucks. Don't like winning 20 games. Don't plan to do that again. It sucks. But, we're doing what we need to do. So, I do think there's some element of that like, a little uncomfortable getting praise for doing it, but it's what you have to do, and I love, man, Pistons played out most of the end of the season. If they won a game, it was usually because of a young guy. If they lost games, it was because of some young guy. Didn't really spend a lot of time with the veterans and traded away the other veterans, and that's what you got. That's why people accept it. I mean, that's why people were so annoyed, later in the wings, the Holland regime, and is that they were still, not to be mean, throwing the Justin Apple pages of the world out there, and now that's changing as well.
Final thing, are you happy or sad that Michigan will be playing Washington at night?
Sad. I don't like night
I
games.
didn't think
Thank
you
you.
did. I just,
Thank you.
You
But
selfish individuals.
I prefer 3:30 games to noon games. What?
Why?
That's an awesome job.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was a grunt. Yes.
John likes
Yeah.
getting up at 3 in the morning. That's the difference.
Yeah, I like getting up, getting to the stadium, have my tailgate, get the game up and running, get it going, kick that sucker off. Let's go.
How about this? How about the game starts at 3:30? You sleep till noon and then at Ann Arbor.
But that's the problem. I can't. So I'm I've tried. I can't. I just want, even for those 3:30 games, I still get there a little bit before 6 because that's when the lot opens up. And yes, I get to tailgate a little bit more, but I can't stop being a player. I want to get up and play.
A little before 6.
Yeah, they open up the lot at 6 o'clock. Got to get my spot. Got to get that tent set up. Got to get the grill going.
Oh my God! Well, I look forward to you. My goodness, but no. Although it will be, probably a good spectacle under the light. Michigan and Washington. Who knows if it's going to be good or not good?
Well,
No idea. But
you know Giles Jackson's going to catch the winning touchdown.
sure, of course. It's the winning kickoff.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Woj, you'll be with Rieger again this evening. We'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Woo!
All right, Wednesdays with Wojo, who is powered by QL. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app today or visit betql.com. Heather with news next.
Yes, I am so excited about this news. There's a blast from the past coming back with the hopes of getting children reading over the summer. And all the 80s and 90s kids will know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right, 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket.
From the WWJ 950 AM Traffic Center, this report sponsored by Mastercraft Heating and Cooling. A truck has lost a load full of metal sheets along I-94 westbound at 8 Mile. Only the right lane is getting by as crews are trying to clean up the scene. Traffic is backed up to 10 Mile. You can try using Gratiot as an alternate. Aside from that, 94 westbound east of 14 Mile, a collision here has the right lane and shoulder blocked with backups to Shook Road. And there is work here, I-94 eastbound, Haggerty to the 275 connector, just one lane open until 4 p.m. For same-day service of your air conditioning or plumbing, call Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 30 37 years in the business, A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 800-924-2123, mastercraftheating.com. I'm Tracy McCaskill with traffic.
We asked people in Michigan why they got the COVID-19 vaccine.
Because I am 24 weeks pregnant and we wanted to protect our baby boy.
I'm vaccinated to protect my family, protect my friends, and help our community.
Because I believe in the science.
Why did you get vaccinated?
My best friend couldn't. She caught COVID and passed away the day before her birthday. That is my why.
Be able to hug my mom again. I haven't been able to hug her in over a year.
I want to hug my grandma again. I'm ready to get back to somewhat normal.
All the vaccines have been tested for safety and are trusted by doctors.
I'm vaccinated. I'm coming to give you a big hug. I love you, Mom.
You've got your why. Now find a vaccine near you at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
It's fun to get a little extra.
You're getting a bonus.
A surprise you didn't expect. Free toy inside? Yes! Something anyone would love.
Upgrade to first class.
Well, Xfinity gives you something extra too. Internet that comes with a free Flex 4K streaming box, giving you access to your favorite apps, even Disney Plus. That's a win-win. Champagne for your flight.
Yes, please.
Entertainment that starts free. Can your internet do that? Get started with Xfinity Internet for $25 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Now with double the speed included. Plus, add a Flex 4K streaming box at no extra cost. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. X5-2021. Restrictions apply. New performance starter 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
Hi friends, Bill Downing here for Valley View GMC in Lake Orion to tell you about some of the great values going on all month long during our Memorial Day sales event. Right now, GM employees and family members can lease a 2021 GMC Acadia front-wheel drive SLE for just $231 a month. Leases for 24 months, 10,000 miles a year with 1,000 to inside. So come see us. We're glad you did. That's Valley View GMC, located at M24 just south of Clarkson Road in Lake Orion. Learn more online at valleyvg.com.
Start your summer off right with a new deck from John's Lumber, Macomb County's largest decking dealer, with the best selection of composite, cedar, and treated decking from manufacturers like
You're talking about the drainage? Yes. It goes from that lake. I'm assuming that's where it goes, from that lake to that downspout that's in the picture. I think, I don't know for sure, and I will learn it know for sure where it is. But I'm assuming that's where it is. Because it's all wet right there. I'm assuming that's where they broke it and it's draining in the middle of their yard. I would assume what they're going to have to do is trench it.
so nasty, and I think they're scary because you can get Lyme disease, which maybe is why I'm more terrified of them. But experts say that ticks are not just this like up north problem here in Michigan. They're a growing problem statewide. You can find them in soccer fields, parks, even your own backyard. They do typically stay near wooded areas, but that's not always the case. You can find them in well-groomed places as well. And they say that the black-leg ticks in particular can transmit Lyme disease. So if you hang out outdoors, you can, wear insect repellent, but you should also just do daily checks, not only on yourself, but on your kids and your pets, of course. Don't forget about them.
Where do you rank ticks? Are they ahead of lice or behind lice?
I would rather have lice that give me lice. Oh no, I hate ticks. It's because I've had that. I've had it. I don't know. I've never had lice ever.
That is an experience that I guarantee you would change your life. It's not the disgust of having lice or the disgust of ticks. It's trying to get rid and combing, especially if you've got long hair. It is. Oh my gosh. It's miserable.
I don't know. Yeah, it does. I don't know. That's a tough question, I guess. Instantly, I want to say I'd rather have lice than have a tick, but I don't know. So several people had to move very, very fast before they became fast food.